So, you're thinking about buying a house. It's exciting, right? But before you start scrolling through listings, there's always that one huge question that kicks everything off. Yeah, how much can you really afford? Not what the bank's pre-approval letter says, but what you can actually handle without ending up totally house poor. Getting this wrong is, well, it's how a dream home turns into a financial nightmare. So figuring out your real budget, that is absolutely step number one. But here's the good news. This isn't some big mystery you have to solve on your own. There's actually a pretty simple rule of thumb that lenders and financial pros use all the time, and we're going to walk through exactly how you can use it too. Okay, here it is. It's called the 28-36 rule. The best way to think about it is like a financial guardrail. It's there to keep you on a safe and comfortable path to homeownership. But before we get into the numbers, we need to be clear on what affordability even means.
Because look, affordability is not just about scraping by to make your mortgage payment. Not at all. It means you can pay for your house and still have a life, you know? You can still save money, handle a surprise car repair, and not have a panic attack every time you look at your bank account.
So here's how the rule works. It's got two parts. The first number, 28, is your front-end ratio. That means your total housing costs, we're talking the mortgage payment, property taxes, and homeowner's insurance, should be no more than 28% of your gross monthly income. But the second number, 36, is the one that really matters. That's your back-end ratio. It says your total debt, so that new house payment, plus your car loan, student loans, credit card payments, all of it shouldn't be more than 36% of your income.
Okay, so to apply that 28-36 rule to your own life, we have to look at the three main things a lender is going to zoom in on. Let's start with the most obvious one. Factor number one is your gross monthly income. That's simply how much money you make every month before any taxes or deductions are taken out. This is the starting point for everything, but it's only half the story. Because what a lender really cares about is the balance between what's coming in and what's already going out. It's this relationship that tells them how much breathing room you actually have for a new mortgage payment. And this relationship has a name. It's the second key factor, your debt-to-income ratio, or DTI. Honestly, this might be the single most important number in your home buying journey. It's just a percentage that shows how much of your monthly income is already spoken for by other debts. Now, here's where things get interesting. That 36% back-end limit we just talked about, it's the guideline for a standard conventional loan, but it's not set in stone. As you can think, other types of loans like FHA or VA loans are often more flexible and might let you go a bit higher, which can really help some buyers. And that brings us to the third and final key, your down payment. This one's super straightforward, but incredibly powerful. The more cash you can put down up front, the less money you have to borrow. And a smaller loan means a smaller monthly payment. Simple as that. I mean, just look at how this plays out on a $300,000 home. Bumping up your down payment from 5% to 20% drops your monthly payment by almost $300. That's a huge savings every single month for the next 30 years. It adds up big time. All right, enough with the theory. Let's get down to business. Grab your phone or a calculator because we're going to figure out your personal housing budget right now. It's a really easy three-step process. First, take your gross monthly income and multiply it by 0.36. That number is the total amount of money you can spend on all your debts combined. For step two, just subtract your current monthly debt payments from that number. You know, your car loan, student loans, minimum credit card payments. And then step three, whatever is left over, that's it. That's your maximum affordable housing payment. So let's run through a quick example. Let's say your household makes $6,000 a month before taxes, and you have about $500 a month in other debt payments, like a car loan. So first, we take that $6,000 and multiply it by 0.36. That gives us a total debt allowance of $2,160. Then we just subtract that $500 you're already paying, which leaves us with $1,660. Boom! That's your number. That's the maximum you should be spending on your total housing payment. And remember, that includes principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. This is the number you need to have in your head when you start looking at homes. Now, maybe you just did the math and you're thinking, yikes, that's not as much as I hoped. Well, don't worry, you're not stuck. There are absolutely things you can do to strengthen your home buying power. Here are 5 of the biggest game changers. 1, work on that credit score. A higher score gets you a lower interest rate. 2, pay down your existing debts. That directly lowers your DTI, freeing up room for mortgage. 3, Keep saving for a bigger down payment. We already saw what a huge difference that makes. 4. Shop around. Compare offers from different lenders to get the best deal. And finally, this is a huge one. Do not go out and make any big purchases right before or during the loan process. Buying a new car can totally derail your mortgage approval.
At the end of the day, this whole process is less about what a bank says you can borrow and more about what you can truly afford without stress. It really comes down to this: plan first so you can dream next. By getting a real handle on your numbers before you fall in love with a house, you're setting yourself up for a happy, sustainable, and exciting future as a homeowner.